Welcome back, esports fans. We got game 2 of some Dota 2 coming right at you in a couple of moments. We're already into the draft, so we'll hop into it in just a moment. Kyle, Lizard here to see which one of these teams shall advance into tomorrow's survival match. Oh, but Gold had a lead, lost it. Team Singularity take the first game, but will they take the second? Liz?
I have no idea.
Perfect.
If you were watching that game, like, it's a really hard series to bet on. These two teams, like, 1 second they're winning, the next second they're all dead in their base without a buyback. So it can go either way. We see this Razor once again, coupled with some fancier heroes this time around. Though. We have some Mirana, some Bane, some Beast. I like this, definitely.
It's again, though, not the greatest Razor matchup. And I understand why it's picked against Gyro. But this relationship goes both ways. Because early mid-game, and even into the late game, Razor's very susceptible to all the spells Gyrocopter's got in his arsenal. In addition...
Something like with Sven.
Yeah, you're playing against a Beastmaster and a Bane. Rather, wow.
You're playing
a
with
Centaur and a Nature's Prophet. Whew, sorry folks, it's taken a while. It's been a... I keep waking up at like 9 a.m. and then we're casting at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It is...
It's difficult.
Yeah, I blame flying information, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, at the end of the day, it's Prophet and it's Centaur, and against Razor, those are difficult heroes to play into because you just can't run into them.
Also, you're playing Bane Mirana versus Prophet. It's one of those heroes that can actually deal with that, right? You just send those pesky little trees to save you, to block the arrows. If Bane and Mirana are playing on the same lane at all, which most likely they won't be, because at the moment Mirana is played as a 4 and you want to be just roaming around your offlane and mid, not really necessarily camping with the Bane on that safe lane. However, if you do that, then if the Centaur and the Ogre are there, you can take them out. But if Nature's Prophet is there, it becomes significantly more difficult, as you can take that sleep off with your trees or just block the arrows. However, I have to say that I really love Mirana overall in this current patch. I think she is a strong position 4. I mean, in pubs, if you go on Reddit, everyone is flaming Mirana. Why? Because they're playing pubs in which Mirana is AFK in the woods, shooting those arrows and missing them. Arrows are actually very easy to hit. It's about where you fire the arrow, not how accurate you are. As long as you're behind the hero, somewhere where his camera is not going to be, you just wait for the hero to go for that creep and then it should be quite easy. In any case, this hero as well has high damage. We talked about Lina and how she starts with Sage's Mask and Regen. You can do the same thing with Mirana. Start with Sage's Mask, get that Basil. You have +8 damage on the lane. You already hit hard, your attack speed is decent. And with Beastmaster you can definitely take down a Gyro. Gyro that is protected, however, by an Ogre Magi, and that guy doesn't really care about that +8 damage. He has +8 armor anyway. And Queen of Pain last pick, alright? Not even waiting to see what's...
I mean, if there's a hero that I associate with G, it's got to be the Co-op, right?
Yeah.
This is his bread and butter, lane dominator. However, we'll be playing into a counter pick. And also, I don't know if it's a thing for this team, but Prophet mid is insane. Also, Meepo is a game-winning pick.
Oh man, Meepo would crush them.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Excalibur, Meepo, right? I mean, it's a perfect game for Meepo.
Yeah. How do you not see that one coming?
Like, it's a perfect game for Meepo. Like, it's awesome. Like, you can't ask for a better game for a Meepo player. Like, what they can do in this match, they can put Razor mid versus him. But it doesn't matter because he will get level 3 and he will go to the jungle.
I don't actually think this is a winnable game. You don't have an answer to Meepo. Excalibur would have to die 6 or 7 times, I think, to lose this game.
And as a Meepo spammer, like, I don't think he's going to allow that to happen.
Correct.
Like, there is a possibility always with Meepos that if they manage to die a couple of times, you know, as a Meepo, you can't buy a BKB. And it's always possible to die. Like, you get hit by an arrow, the Razor just deals too much damage, Queen of Pain as well ultis, and a couple of times you allow yourself to be out of position because you feel that this is your game, and you die a couple of times, suddenly you can't even come back. Because Meepo does have that time limit. But in this game, in this particular game, I think the longer the game goes, the Meepo is stronger. Like, he just needs to stack up stats, get 2-3 Skadis. The more Skadis he has, the easier the game is for him, because they will not be able to take him down.
Yep, I would agree. And I think if he gets the 2 items, it's just GG. Like, you need to crush through towers, really. It's the same as playing against a Tinker. Meepo eats the map, right?
Yeah.
You have to kill his tier 1s. And if you can't do that early on, it's just not possible to play into him at a point. He farms faster than enemy heroes. He utilizes stat items more efficiently than anyone else in the game. It's like Alchemist. It's an unreplicable mechanic. He has extra heroes, and you don't. We're going to hop into the game in just a moment, and we'll see if the Excalibur last pick Meepo is just as strong as it was back in the day when he rung for Fnatic. What was that, pre-TI 5? Remember that? His big splash on the scene?
I remember. Definitely do. This game as well, he could go for something like, I don't know, E-Blade, Skadi, Manta, and you're just unkillable. All of these heroes just don't do a lot to Meepo. Queen of Pain also is one of the worst heroes to play against Meepo. Like, she just does nothing on that mid lane, and once he has a couple of Earthbinds on, level 10, he can take you down. Even level 3, like, if you're not careful, with a couple of webs, he can take you down easily.
30 seconds.
Like, what is it? Also, Mirana can't leap out of the Earthbinds. Bane, purely single target. Beastmaster can be alright with the additional damage.
But it's just the synergy. Like, the Meepo is not just great in the game against Ulbagol, but they have the perfect lineup around it. Tons of team fight. Lots of global mobility.
Tons of utility as well.
Ogre Gyro. Yeah. It's like, it's the dream game.
Saberlight giving him, let's say, some Vlad's Crimson. Bloodlust from the Ogre. It definitely is a dream Meepo game, and this should be quite simple for them. But we'll see. Sometimes it happens, like I stated before, that a Meepo player feels a little bit too comfortable in the match, and then because of that dies a couple of times, let's say goes for Rosh prematurely, dies in the pit, gives away Aegis. Like, I've seen these scenarios, it can happen. Also, he started without a Stout Shield on mid lane, and because of that, Queen of Pain does have that obvious range advantage that she can utilize and zone him out a little bit early on. We can see already that he might get the... Okay, Bane is actually mid as well. Excalibur.
Body blocks.
Yeah,
body blocks.
Can't take him down though.
Close,
but
though.
They do get him super low, and he didn't send the courier to himself, so he has no.
Yep, and this is big. I love what G is going to do here. He's going to push out the lane and look to double wave it, so that he can then, in theory, try and zone Meepo away from the CS while he's level 2, and the Meepo's still just level 1.
Yeah. Just zone him out from the experience. That would be awesome for him. Dive him under the tier 2 this early on, even. Especially when you had that Bane advantage, Bane helping you early on. You need to continue pressuring him. However, he didn't manage to do that, and Meepo got a lot of experience on that mid lane right now as he's farming under the tower. Top lane, DNZ and Saberlight doing fairly well versus the Razor. The Knight 4 creeps away from him. Not really going back. One of those heroes that can definitely fight off Bane is the Nature's Prophet.
Oh,
you
for
just
sure.
send the trees on him with the Blightstone as well.
And look at that. He's got a tree in the easy camp. It's been posted there for the first couple minutes of the game to ensure there's no chance of a pull. And that is how you'd be able to equalize, right? You need to get levels. You want to leave the Razor alone for a bit, perhaps, as Excalibur just moves forward. And how do you lane against this as a Quap?
You can.
How do you win the lane here?
Quap is that lane winner, right? But versus Meepo, he's going to do this until he's level 5. And after level 5, you can't even be aggressive on him. If you get clipped by a web into level 3 poofs, you're gone. Fexu just taking care of boards there.
And it's a Gyro Ogre in the safe lane, right? Like, every single lane benefits.
That was really good arrow, but he's very tanky. With that Bloodlust, he might be able to just get away. Specifically because Mage killed that boar off.
Yep, really well done there. Extra gold as well.
Now he solves up. He has no mana to work with though, but he might stick around still to help out Mage, to just be that mid shield in front, which is pretty good. Some players would go back to get that mana, but...
Nah. Never leave the lane with no boots. Crazy. If you want to leave, you just go die.
Dying as an ogre this early on is a difficult play to make, like even under a tier 2. That's a problem for him.
I mean, G is doing quite well. He's definitely winning the lane. The Bane gank early on certainly helping him out. He got those first 2 waves for free. But as you said, the concern is Meepo's ability to farm jungle freely. And I love this decision from Excalibur. He knows that there's a Bane in the bottom jungle, so he's going to go towards the top and play that top shrine area. Really smart decision.
Yeah, Mirana just stealing his creeps as well from the bottom jungle with those arrows. That's good. And what the problem is when you're farming that top shrine is you don't have as many camps. And let's see, Saberlight. DNZ might be in problems actually.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Saberlight is the one giving away damage, but that damage is dealt then to the Nature's Prophet. It does fall in the end.
Bottom.
ZZ.
Another board probably going to go down. Nope, nice deny.
Yeah, good deny there indeed. Mirana has spent a lot of time just taking care of these camps in the jungle, and because of that, BZZ is all alone versus Okra and Gyro, and that's not an easy lane.
No.
They're trying to go for Storm Rage here again, but...
They're playing the lane a bit weird, in my opinion. I think if there was a game to perhaps go like 1-1-1 on Saberlight, you want to be able to threaten damage on the Razor.
Yeah, couldn't you be very aggressive on it with these two? Like, they have so much damage and the blocks from the trees.
Yeah.
And they are being aggressive.
The lane, right?
They are being aggressive on the Razor right now, but the camera is showing us Mirana and Meepo, while Razor might even die on that top lane. He should survive, all right. But they are turning on DNZ,
Whoa.
and DNZ goes for Illidan. Illidan dies in the end.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for. If the lane is pushing, this is when Razor Bane start to suffer. They don't have enough wave clear for this.
Especially with all those treants, right? Meepo dies in the mid lane as he was hit by an arrow of Velhor.
Max Q build on G thus far. This is great for lane domination, but it does mean he won't farm as fast.
And what lane are you actually dominating? The Meepo is never in it. He just came once, and the reason you killed him is because of that Mirana. That's also that arrow not really connecting there. Nexus should be fine because Mage is there, saves him with that rocket and moves back to farm. One thing that I dislike about Excalibur right now and his Meepo play is the fact that he didn't try to threaten that Queen of Pain at all. But then again, he might get the kill, might not, but he's farming a lot. Saberlight does get arrowed and he might die quite easily here.
It didn't change the odds though. Team Singularity heavily favored in this match, and can't blame them based on the matchups. Bottom. Hexu with the stun. The rocket should follow up shortly. And now even a TP from Disnishka. I love Fury and Gyro. One of my favorite combinations because the rocket is like the perfect X marks the spot in terms of, hey, we're killing that guy. Anybody with a global teleport, feel free to get in here. As now Saberlight moves towards the mid lane.
Arrow misses.
And this is how you want to be playing at a certain point. You just protect your Meepo.
Yep.
Cover 2 lanes. You know, oh look, top's coming into my tower. I'll go defend it now. But just let Meepo freely farm the jungle.
Yep.
You don't want him pressured in the mid lane anymore.
Yeah, the best way would be to put some position 5 on that mid lane to protect it while your offlaner is protecting his lane. But he died a couple of times, so he needs some experience, I suppose.
Oh, nice job. But he will get arrowed. However, this is the Centaur, much more durable than the Furion.
Yeah,
however,
but that's a level 4 Centaur who is being Doan now.
Stun, will it be enough is the question. He's trying to escape G now here as well. Perhaps an ultimate to come out and get both.
Saberlight will die to Illidan. And at the same time on the bottom lane, Meepo has rotated and BZZ is taken down by Mage.
It's all about the space. Just space for Meepo. However, as we said, kill the tier 1s. That's the secret dealing with Meepo. And so far, they're making some heavy damage onto that top.
Minute 7, he's level 7. He's keeping up the normal 1 level per minute XPM.
Saberlight, you gotta get the catapult. Oh my god, they didn't kill the catapult. Alright, well, Dyer gets the tower, no big deal. However, it could be a big deal for the Furion, who's taking some heavy damage, or is he? As they now actually move on to Storm Rage. He's got 50 damage stolen, Illidan on the escape.
He's really fast with the Windlace and boots, so he gets away. I'm actually surprised they didn't pressure that Razor a bit more. They did take him down once, but they could have really pressured him more. Valhor does connect with the arrow. That deep ward helped him out there, but Meepo might be able to just poof away, which he will do. That will not be enough, but he is getting really low here.
Oh, look
now
at this. What a play from Excalibur. Oh. Oh, Excalibur, you gotta run.
He can deny himself.
He might.
He should have denied himself. He didn't deny himself there.
He might not have realized he was going to die.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, and that leaves G dominating, as those trees are not going to stop a Queen of Pain from blinking away. However, Vanscore's sleep does save him for now. Mage is still going in. He has that ulti to work with, but he doesn't pop it. DNZ is in problems as Illidan from behind.
They're getting destroyed. They're doing exactly what they need to as well. And bottom lane, Gyrocopters had to rotate mid, which means the tier 1 bot is being pressured hard. This is insane. I cannot believe Olba Gold's allowed to put this much pressure on, but a lot of it comes down to the top lane, as you said. And because you don't pressure top as this Radiant team, it means that Olba Gold is free to apply tons of pressure to your Meepo, and you're still losing the tower.
And
it's a disaster.
And the Beast is doing well right now. 2.6k net worth. G is out of control. 4k net worth. Killed Meepo twice so far as a Queen of Pain. That's not something that should be happening. But I think some of these wards were really good from All But Gold. Mirana warding behind the tier 1 on the mid lane. One ward was already devoured. Just the one scouting Meepo farming the jungle, allowing those easy arrows onto him. As those arrows were the ones that set up Meepo kills twice now. Beast.
He's going to go down here for sure. Too much damage. Gyrocopter early game. As an easy cleanup.
Meepo was stunned once again, but they had no follow-up, no damage there. Excalibur, what level is he? He's getting towards that level 10. Once he gets it, it's going to be a little bit easier to threaten everyone on the map, as he'll have 3 poofs.
You think they should have made the Centaur the 4 and the Prophet the 3?
I mean, it's difficult because maybe Saberlight isn't really a Prophet player or something like that.
That's true. I just think that, you know, you want team fight items with the Meepo, right? And a Prophet gets the farm to collect them. Centaur, you need different sort of selfish items earlier on. The blink phase, like.
But you can still go, right? Like that's the similar discussion that we had with Legion Commander. If a team needs you to go Vlads and Crimson, just buy Vlads and Crimson and a pipe. You know, don't go for that blink. So that's an option, I guess, but. It looks like Furion is the one that has a lot of utility items queued up right now.
Hang on, Wop. This is going to be enough damage.
Earthbind?
He blinked in. Yeah, he's dead for sure. He even gets the ulti off, but is that worth? I don't think so.
That's a huge kill, going Saberlight's way, but also slowing that.
He blinked over there. How?
He has a ward, so he thought that he knew more than he actually did. And because of that, they take him down. Meepo actually going for 3 raid bands into an Eagle Song. That's all right. Just that damage allows you to take rush much easier, much faster. Yep. You get some stats from the Ghost as well. You become tanky enough.
But he has lost his tower. Look at the field of vision that Olba Gold possessed. 3 wards currently in that top hill towards mid tier 1 area on the Radiant side of the map. So they've got tons of control. They're going to scan out, just barely missing Excalibur, but they might find him anyway. No, they did not. The drums, the Beastmaster, the pushing power, 4-team spirit is there.
They're really strong at the moment. Meepo needs to catch up and get that critical mass as soon as possible, because right now he should be on top of the network charts, but he's not. He's behind the Queen of Pain and Gyro.
I'm surprised actually that he's not more farmed. I mean, level-wise, still doing fine, but not in a position, not in the dream position at least.
They just got him a couple of times. They killed him, and also when he sacked the lane, he really sacked it. You know, like it wasn't like he's farming the jungle and the lane. No, he was just farming that triangle around his shrine. And also he had to farm the triangle around the shrine, which isn't really as effective as farming the right side of that tier 1 early on. As you can get close to the medium camp, stack it, then go into the hard camp. Arrow onto the Ogre. That's a good...
Oh, and Grip as well. He is dead for certain. Pexu's going to just get ditched
yeah, what
here.
about
BZZ
Gyro
looking
now?
for a roar. Will he find it?
Oh, they do because of the Hawk. And
an
they
easy kill.
find a much better kill there. I love how they just ignore the Furion so they can get on top of the gyro.
Definitely the right play. And this is the benefit of the Team Spirit lineup. You know, the Mirana 4, as you said, the BZZ Beastmaster, they've got so much catching potential around the map. They have so much vision. It's easy for them to be mobile, which for now is very easily able to punish the Singularity lineup because their Meepo just simply isn't online.
They just have to wait. That's it. It's a Meepo game, right? Like, even if you feed a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Just wait to get these items that you need, like this Laz that Nature's Prophet is getting. Wait for Meepo to reach that critical mass. Let's say Meepo got a blink. He could perhaps fight with them right now. But if you go for that blink and you die a couple of times, your game is over. So you just have to wait now, as he's going purely stats.
That's how it goes. This new Meepo style, you know, no ags, just Wraith Bands, Treads, E-Blade, Scotty. That's how it goes. But you do get to that critical mass, as you said, where at a point you win that one fight, and Meepo wins the game not because he's necessarily killing everyone, but the fight's over, and now all of a sudden you've killed Roche and a Rax.
Yeah,
like
he just
40
does that
seconds.
so fast. Arrow is really good, but
On point.
a bit too far away with everyone else to connect to that gyro. G also going towards Aghanims, which will help them with that damage department versus the Meepo.
I like the Yule's choice too. You need some sort of survivability here.
Yules is so good versus him as when he earthbinds you, if you Yule yourself, there's a chance that you're going to blink out before he Yules you again, or someone will come and help you before he manages to burst you down. Just breaking down his combo is really effective. Even something like a Force Staff can mess a Meepo up quite a lot.
Careful up top though, Excalibur. He does have a ward. He's got to be feeling like he might be in a bit of danger, and in fact, yeah, he will poof towards the Ancients. They scan, don't see anybody middle. No one showing on the map, which is as good as a flashing alarm bell in everyone on Singularity's head, as they actually now group up and look to invade their own jungle.
But they have to go towards some bounty runes, right? 15 minutes spawns the bounty runes, and they find the bait, but they lose all 4 bounties, it seems. Yep.
Yep. Really well, good point. I love that, and that's the Team Spirit benefit, right? They've got so much vision, mobility, that you can make these plays, and Singularity don't really have any pure catch yet, or as I say that, here they go,
Arrow.
stampeding forwards. Arrow does land on the gyrocopter. Saberlight, though, he needs to land this stun if they want to be able to find a kill. Will he get it? No, he does not for now. Taking a ton of damage. Also going to get roared. Stun onto the backside on Mirana as Mage now looks to try and just kill off the roar. Oh, wow, huge ultimate from G, though. Mage now in a ton of trouble. Took the Q. Will the Axis land? No, they won't. The arrow misses as well. Nice TP out from Pexa. We should survive, but G with the aggro Yules, as you said, will be able to get away.
I don't think they're playing accordingly to the items that they've got. They're playing like they actually have a Blink Dagger on the Centaur, and he can catch in, he can jump in, use that.
The moment you aggressively stampede and don't find initiation,
yeah, that's time to go back.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I feel like is missing from a lot of the games we've seen in this tournament. When you watch Tier 1 Dota, they'll try and make plays, but they know when to just cut and run and not to make the bad move. The odds even shifting in the favor of Old But Gold. Not quite, of course, but Singularity definitely lost a bit of advantage in the numbers department.
No, I mean, if you're looking at the drafts and it's a Meepo last week versus these heroes, you're definitely expecting a GG ease for a Meepo, you know? But that's definitely not the case at the moment, at least. As Singularity has just tried to fight a little bit too early here and there and have been outplayed by All But Gold.
Yep. It just comes down to you don't need to force fights. You've got the Meepo. It's fine to try to waste a little bit of time, but take the little loss. You know, it's like the poker player dilemma. You think that you're a good player based on how much you win, but it's really about minimizing your losses when you're beaten. The best players are the ones that know when to fold, and right there, Singularity got caught calling a river that they certainly didn't want to play. Huh?
They might cast BZZ here.
Almost.
Does not connect. Yeah, I definitely agree with your point before, though. And that's the way it is. But what do you think, like, are the best players those that just minimize their... In Dota, not in poker. Those that minimize their losses, or those that just push it to the limit. Because
They're-
what I noticed is, like, the best midders, like, they aren't those guys that always risk a lot, but they are molded out of those guys. At the beginning, they are those guys that just, you know, push it to the limit. They don't necessarily, I don't know, play to win every single game. They just play to learn as much as possible. And you learn the most when you push it to the limit, when you aren't afraid of losing, aren't afraid of, you know, like, risking it.
Hard to say. I think there's this line, you know, if you want to be good, focus on limiting your mistakes. And if you want to be great, focus on making things happen,
Yeah.
right? And I just don't think there's that many great teams in Dota. In fact, at this last TI, there was one. I think that most teams, especially at this level, could benefit a lot more from just trying to play cleaner and not worry so much about trying to be flashy. That's all. They're going to ignore Mirana mid, try and loop around. They do have vision of Illidan under that ward, and they're just going to immediately go for him.
He played into a couple of poofs. He is just gone.
Mid.
And go towards the Mirana, who
He's
has a force and leaps to work with, so they won't get that. But man, that's the Razor. That's Illidan once again, like in that first game. The Mirana arrow does connect, but you can't approach that guy.
Where did he
Oh,
go? Oh,
that's
whoa.
big.
How did he find him?
Well,
Nice play there. Excalibur going to pick up a free kill. Dzisnishka
that
will
could
take
be
a last
Rosh
hit. And
even.
yeah, exactly. This is the danger of the Meepo. We've been talking about how Olba Gold's looking good, but this is Meepo in a Meepo game. And you get those kills, you get the tower, and now all of a sudden you walk straight into the pit and you can see the damage output.
doesn't matter that you had a dominant laning stage.
Ag's ulti.
Yeah.
I like that. Just using it right away, pushing him out of the pit, trying to do some harass damage, and it will come off cooldown in just a short little while.
If they
30
could
seconds.
steal this Rosh, that would be amazing for them. While they're healing up, if you could just run in. But it's so difficult. Peksu is still sticking around, making sure that does not happen. But yeah, as you just said, I love the Aghanim's just popping that ulti there as well. However, it's on cooldown for 15 more seconds now, and guess what? Meepo has those 15 seconds to go into the pit, perhaps take it down. G.
Hang
Right.
on. Here we go. Oh, they found G. They found G. He's going to yield himself up into the air. Will there be any sort of follow-up? No, there won't. Roar onto the gyrocopter as well. Not enough damage, though, as Illidan forced to run away. But wait, I say this. He just goes straight back. And
Oh, the
what
arrow
an
is good.
arrow! Quap ulti to follow. Dzisnishka catches it, too. Now Valhir can leap forward with confidence. Illidan going to be able to assist. What a play from G.
That's
What a
Rosh.
sick arrow again from Valhir, man. He has been a regular William Tell Robin Hood.
Just instantly into the pit. This is, remember when we were talking in the draft about what needs to happen for Old But Gold to win this? I was like, maybe they go into that pit prematurely and they get punished for that. You lose the ages, then you lose a couple of team fights with Meepo, and suddenly all the advantage that you have is gone.
Yep.
This is exactly
remember.
what might happen. This
That's
is
what he said.
This is exactly what might happen to them. And also, Excalibur had one real problem in that whole team fight. G obviously was one big problem, but a bigger problem for him is choosing his targets. He was just running around left, right, and center, not choosing a hero to go on. If he goes on G or on the Razor, that's already a huge kill for them. But instead, he was trying to go for the Beast, for the Mirana, and in the end, he just falls.
And now G. He's just, when you go this Ags build, if you can't use it right away, or rather, you want to be in a game it's used all the time. And he has been doing just that. Effectively, every time it's off cooldown, he's finding a kill, at least putting out some harass damage. And like that Ags is the reason they buy them time, right?
Definitely,
It forces them out of the pit, they go to Shrine, but now Oba Gold are full strength, they're 5, and they're ready to take another team fight, and they still have that Quap ulti.
Yeah, definitely. Good point. That Aghanims helped them out so much there. Just having that reduced cooldown as well, they're so good.
And
Being
that
able to
Kaya.
spam it.
He's just got so much damage on that ultimate, all pure as well, of course.
Just being able to spam it against Meepo definitely helps them. And that's also G and experience, right? Adapting and buying the right stuff at the right moment.
See what happens here. It's a little bit gold. Try to close out a game against Meepo. Not the easiest task. You have to keep in mind, with the Quap specifically, once there's a Hex, maybe a Blink on Meepo, his game gets significantly harder.
Yeah, definitely. Blink Hex and this Quap is just dead every single time he sees her. And it's not only Quap. Any hero on the map that he sees that's alone dies to a Meepo with Blink Hex here.
I really feel like Excalibur, I know it's been a more difficult game, but shouldn't he be more farmed? It really feels like it's like he's below 500 GPM.
Yeah, definitely. They put the hurt on him. It's not only that Queen of Pain won the mid lane, which she shouldn't, but Bane came there, you know. Bane came, he kind of messed him up a little bit. Then Mirana was basically free farming the right side of the jungle, and Meepo had to farm only the medium and the hard camp next to his shrine. That's what made it difficult. But that fight there in the pit should have been done a lot better by them. Like they should have gotten a pick off after the E-Blade once again and then went into the pit.
Should they have landed differently, you think? Maybe you put the Gyro top with the Ogre against the Razor. Maybe even tri-lane there. Let Furion free to go help mid. Something like this. I don't know.
mean, it was they should have dominated the Razor. Let's put it like that first. Like Furion and Centaur, shouldn't they have just dominated Illidan on that top lane?
That's true.
And Meepo, realistically, when you see the Mirana on the bottom lane, you should be pressuring the Quap. She shouldn't be pressuring you. That's also the thing.
Up top, let's see. G is gonna poke the Meepo. Diznishka just continuing to fight into this tier 2 bottom. We'll be able to pick it up. No one able to defend. And Glyph is not available. Yeah, as I say that, they TP in. They let the tower die, but they are going to kill the Furion.
They get him as he gets that medallion in the base. Now they have some extra minus armor to work with.
Blink up on Centaur.
Still, this game, as long as Meepo doesn't run in first and he picks his targets properly, can be really simple for Singularity.
Yeah, do a better job dodging his arrows, though. That's the problem. Arrow. After the sleep, easy to land. Mage now with the Ags, so we will do a significantly higher DPS throughout these engagements.
35 minutes in, it seems they will only take one bounty once again. Meepo has to be careful on that top lane as they might move towards him, but he instantly moves away. And now they have full vision on him. DNC again, just pressuring this bottom lane. Most certainly will fall, as G has no problems using that ulti once again, as he's godlike right now.
Going Octarine next
Octarine, actually, indeed, yeah.
Ballsy.
Something like, I mean, you could go for Lincoln's versus the Hex, right, if you're expecting it from Meepo, but that's far away.
Oh, Saberlight, no, he's got a BKB, my friend. They're in big trouble now. Nature's Prophet's going to buy back. Saberlight popping his ultimate to try and get his team out of dodge. Nice sleep on the Pexu on the side, and now the Centaur in some trouble. We'll have a Blink stun in a few moments as the Meepo starts to close in. We'll finish off the Mirana. Diznishka now, after the buyback, looking to get involved. They pick off the Ogre. BCC, yes, he does have Roar available, but no initiation tool. And it looks like Singularity are going to take this opportunity to just back away.
Yeah, not the worst fight for them, but they did buy back the Furion, which was kind of bad. Queen of Pain still has that, well, does not have that Aegis anymore to work with, so they should be careful with the positioning. If she goes towards that Meepo, he can definitely take her down. Excalibur with the blink.
We go straight in. There's no BKB on the Razor. He's just going to get exploded, isn't he? And in fact, he does. He dies immediately. BCZ gets the roar up, but that's not going to be effective at all.
She just linked in.
Oh, is that good? That's not good. That's not good. This is not good at all. This is not good at all for G. What?
And that's a double kill. That's 900 gold.
Huh?
That's so...
To the Meepo.
Yep. Yep. 10 kill streak ended by the Meepo there. It's so simple. G just messed up there. I was like, the moment they saw G on the mid lane, they instantly go onto the Razor, who's still around for some reason. They take him down. G is frantically trying to help him.
Goodness.
And now the Beastmaster as well. BZZ is just gone. What a great Earthbind by the Meepo. Perfectly reading where he's going to hide, and he just sends him to the fountain. They just lost. They pretty much just lost after that.
I don't want to say that just yet. It's
not over. I'll call it.
I mean, all the lanes suddenly being pushed. Oh my goodness.
Razor. That's going to be a forced BKB for sure. There we go. Queen of Pain is still dead, unavailable to help them. Meepo will be running into this fray very soon. He catches the Pain. Mirana might be lucky to get out, but this tier 2 tower does not have legs, cannot run. Meepo goes back into it, takes it away.
Still 30 seconds now on both of those B heroes in this Group B match between All But Gold and Singularity.
It feels that Singularity to win this game, they have to have a perfect match. You know, like they can't make these mistakes. All But Gold now, you can see that their advantage. Well, they never really had the betting advantage, but it was getting closer. Those odds were getting closer, but now again, there's some distance in between them. Crimson
I got a loss for words. That is, that's a pretty terrifying graph. If that were a roller coaster, I do not believe it would be FDA approved.
Were you in MDL on that major? You were, right?
Yes.
In Paris. How was the roller coaster? Did you go?
I didn't go. Actually, yes, I did. It was okay. Disneyland is for kids.
Doesn't matter. You can still have fun, man.
That's true. But the Space Mountain was supposedly really fun. I didn't get a chance to go on that one. We had like one day off, and I was so tired. Yeah. It was like...
that's so sad.
That was like in the middle.
You're right there, you know, like you can go to Disneyland or whatever, but you don't have time.
I had such, like, this summer was just so much traveling, so much, like, stuff. Can't enjoy every day. I learned that lesson the hard way. Sometimes you've got to just chill and read a book. Not to say that isn't enjoying the day, but you know what I mean. Sun up to sundown is a tough ask.
Yeah, you can deplete yourself very easily like that.
Yeah, speaking of depletion, the price of gold may be steady, but All But Gold finds themselves at a loss as their lead has dwindled to under 1,000 gold. Meepo for the first time in possession of that #1 net worth spot.
Yep.
And a BKB on the gyrocopter.
He's got it. They have the BKB, the Meepo as well. Is getting, I believe that's Skadi done, right? Gyro has the BKB, so I don't know if you can just go on him. There's the Saberlight with the stun, but no follow-up. Not right now, at least. Sleep to dodge the rocket, and now you can go back and take those bounty runes. Perhaps that this arcane rune, you could save it for Quap. If you do, you can fight afterwards.
Whoa.
That's a huge rune for her. However, Meepo is in. Instantly pops that ulti. Get away from me, boys.
What's the cooldown on his ultimate now? It's like 20-something seconds with that arcane rune. Another arrow from Value. Every time he shoots one, I just have a feeling it's going to land on a core. Yeah, 23.2.
23 seconds, yeah. They should fight with this.
Doesn't even have Octarine finished.
He's definitely realized that they need as much damage as possible from him, so he went for this build. You know what? Oh.
Speaking of builds, whoa, what is a little bit of a disconnect here? Saberlight thought they were going in.
Well,
This team's
might
going
go
out. A double net, man. The long range. Is this Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone? Because the traps he sets are unbelievable. It's a bit of a stretch.
Nah, his traps are indeed great so far.
Arrow. Roche is up.
Roche is up, but they need a Beastmaster here ASAP if they want to take it. And you can see instantly Radiant just moving towards them. Octarine core on G though.
Oh, big sleep. Put on to Pexu.
They can't really do a whole lot with it. This is one of the best things with Meepo here in the Roche pit. Like, you just spam these webs and they give you vision if anyone is doing Roche.
And yeah, I love having a Nature's Prophet too. He can shove out bottom wave. Now dealing with the creep wave in base. Another arrow
That's a
landing
good
on
arrow,
the core.
yeah. Sadly, he's in such a good spot. You can't really go there.
Looks like a smoke move is on the horizon. Indeed, it shall be. Singularity looks to make a move.
It's really important for them to jump first and to find a good target. Valhor isn't really that. Let's see,
I like this.
there.
The long loop. It's not going to break on the Bane if they run the right angle. They want to ignore him if possible and find more, but nope, Saberlight will pop. They're going to take what they can get. Arrow does get
Scalper
juked.
did ignore him, so he's still trying to find more. Perhaps he can find Valhor if they use that ulti
Buyback
from
onto
the
Bane.
Saberlight.
Saberlight's looking to get in here. They get the dust off. Quap ulti already used a bit early, but he will have that quick cooldown thanks to the Octarine and the Eggs.
Yeah, Bane did buyback there, and Saberlight's ulti just came off cooldown, so they couldn't do much with it. One good thing that Team Singularity has got for themselves, like you mentioned before, Furion, right, with constant just side pushing these lanes. Meepo can do similar things as well with his clones. Obviously, it is a little bit more dangerous for the Meepo because you don't want to be caught out. But in this situation, he should definitely use these clones to outpush bottom, as at least on his side of the map, no one should be there, as everyone should be playing around this Rosh pit. You're just too afraid to leave it, right? So just split pushing bottom, perhaps letting Furion to split push top. You see someone defending that lane, someone that does not have a TP. Someone like that Razor, BZZ actually, that's right, on the bottom lane.
TP, Saberlight. We found how this is just such an exposed position for the Beastmaster to be in. He does have buyback, but you said it best, right? The map mobility, it's not just good for creep waves now, this stage of the game, but they can find kills quite easily on anyone that's isolated. And it's going to get even more difficult for Old But Gold to play the map once this Hex is finished up on Meepo, and all of a sudden he's capable of solo killing anybody he wants.
This build on Razor also doesn't seem very effective versus these heroes. They're straight into the pit, but the Hawk scouts them, and also there's a buyback on the Beastmaster, which he will use, obviously, as they definitely want to fight this Rosh pit fight.
Oh, whoa, whoa, it's Nogre. Oh, hang on. Onto the Bane. There's no buyback. Van score.
70 seconds without him, and he pauses. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Maybe he actually did lag out there or something happened, because he was in such a bad position. Why would the Bane be there?
No, he slept Ogre. I mean, he tried to make a play, set up an arrow, but just, you know, it's one of those scenarios where you've got to recognize that you need to play a little more defensively than usual. You've used your buyback. You've got to edit the way you'd play in this engagement.
If they lose this fight, they lose the game right here. BZZ has no buyback as well. He just used it. And like, I believe the Razor build for this game might be Shiva's Radiance as well. One of those old school build on well, not super old school, but one of those fancier build on Razor. You have the max passive plus the Radiance, and then Shiva's too. Perhaps something like a Yule's, like full utility. And then Meepo just dies to that. However, the problem is, if you are itemizing for the Meepo, who deals with the gyro? As he would completely like that build.
As we watch both teams stare at each other. This cinematic views brought to you by the studio behind Quentin Tarantino's latest film.
Did you watch it?
Of course.
Is it good? It's Tarantino. I mean, it's specific. I guess it's special.
I liked it, but that's also because I know the backstory behind the scene. But we'll get into that in a moment. Pexu's going to land a stun onto the Beastmaster, another hero with no buyback. This is a 4-on-5, and if you want to fight this, Old But Gold, you're going to need to make something creative happen. They have now arrowed one of the Meepos, but there's still 3 more. Are they really going to try and engage? Saberlight's going to go straight in for the Mirana Gyro ultimate as well. I mean, sure, you're going to go in here, but it's too late. They've already picked up the Aegis. Illidan's getting a huge drain off onto the Gyrocopter. Mage will go down immediately, but there's a billion Meepos on your tail. The E-Blade will miss. Oh, but the nets land. How does he do this, Excalibur? What a player.
And these nets now actually reveal you if you're Invis. They catch you in Invis and they show you, so that's also good.
3 heroes dead, then the mid.
You don't really have
exposed.
to. Yeah, you don't have to rush it necessarily. You can wait for your gyro, right, to respawn. Go for the bounties, but they don't care. They have Aegis.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about, right? You lose that one fight, and now all of a sudden there's a Meepo. Even has the salve for Saberlight. But this
is Ogre, right?
This is at least a tier 3.
Tier 3 and wait for gyro, I guess. They bought back on the Razor. And their supports are respawning, so you can go back. That's exactly what they do. There's Shizun Centaur as well. They have all the utility they need, right?
Yep.
The Crimson and the Pipe, also the Vlads on the Furion. G's going to try and catch one Meepo, and he's successful at doing so. The arrow also connects, and that's Aegis gone, I believe.
Is that the real one?
Yeah. I mean,
no.
It's not, yeah. So he's going to respawn somewhere else. But they are continuing to chase him. They knew where he respawned, but they couldn't catch him once again.
He did squander the Aegis, though.
Yeah, that's really bad. Like, that Aegis is game-winning right there.
Yeah.
It just gives you a free team fight.
It's another scenario where, just let's, you know, limit mistakes, right? What is the name of this game? So far, I've yet to see one team make some huge outplay. It's really just errors, mental mistakes,
It's just
mispositionings.
punishing errors, right? Left, right, and center. However, Excalibur, he did really try to do the right thing there. It's not like he was waiting too long. He was spoofing all the meepos out. Sadly for him, it was just mechanically not possible to get out faster. He took the tier 3 and instantly just backed out as soon as possible.
If you say so.
Yeah, Quap just caught him.
Radiant are scanning.
Solar Crest Vlad's on to Znishka. He's going to go for the Hex as well. Will potentially be found out here by BZZ. Nope, just selling an item, nothing major.
Shrine is under attack.
And they're going to clear out the Shrine. Singularity trying to get aggressive now on the enemy side of the map, even without the Aegis. They do threaten buildings far more effectively than all but gold, even with that Beastmaster
I
build.
guess Queen of Pains 25 could prove to be huge, right?
That's true, AoE Fear.
AoE Fear versus the Meepo would be pretty good.
25 seconds. He has the cooldown talent along with the Octarine. He'll have ult up whenever he desires.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's the Hex almost completed on Meepo. He can actually buy it if he wants to right now, but he's saving for that buyback, as that buyback is just as good as Aegis with the Meepo. Get those travels in, get back into the fight.
Oh, Yul's in.
He
They
has
have the arrows
G's,
set up? No,
BKB.
they don't. Just messing with him. G has a really short blink cooldown, so no real fear. These arrows, so terrifying. It's like a Spear of the Valkyrie. Accurate to a fault. Bottom, you have Meepo potentially able to kill Beastmaster, who's completely alone. Just
blink, though,
blinks
yeah.
away. He's got to be real careful. No buyback, and he's holding the gem.
Yeah, he already fell on that
As I say
bottom lane
that,
once.
ooh.
DNZ TP's in. DNZ has to be careful here as well. He could fall before there's help.
They're hunting him. Excalibur cannot find.
They could set up a trap around that beast if they're thinking about that. If Meepo goes to catch him one more time, you could burst down the Meepo. That does not have Aegis. It's also one of those ways to deal with the Meepo. Just when you're split pushing, he's definitely going to take the bait because he has Meepos everywhere, right? So split push, but put a couple of heroes behind the split pusher. And then pounce as he tries to get that solo kill.
Peksu doing the face check. Tanks an arrow for his troubles. Saberlight pops the Crimson. They're going to potentially initiate
going
here
in.
onto the Razor. And indeed they do. He gets the BKB up. Remember, it's just 5 seconds. Mage tanks the grip along with the Roar, taking so much damage now, but yet somehow still alive. How the hell is Mage still alive? He pops
That's
the cheese. Now,
Razor's
oh
dead.
my, yep, dead. No buyback on the Razor. G in a ton of trouble as well. Will be able to blink away in time. Bane also with no buyback. Will the net land is the question. Excalibur trying to pursue. This is going to be at least one Rax, a 3v5 situation.
Yeah, that's-
How did Mage survive? I understand he had BKB, but he got roared, he got gripped. There's just not enough damage.
There was
Not
no
enough
damage?
physical damage.
Not enough physical damage, and Queen of Pain's ulti was already spent, right? So they couldn't really do much. Yeah, and the BKB was used on him.
Does have the AoE Fear now. We get an arrow.
I love the salves. Just salve up people.
The net's flying all over the place. The 4-step forwards onto Excalibur.
Nice try, didn't work.
Razor still no buyback. Singularity should know if they've kept a clock. They're going to continue to try and shove down these objectives.
That arrow connects onto a tree, and now he has that level 25 talent, so he can jump in and fear them away without being afraid of the Earthbind instantly.
BKB up on G.
Arrow does connect this time around. They're pinging
He's
him.
going to go straight forward. Will they have enough damage to kill the Meepos? The question, he's got the Fear, pops the ultimate, but with the Crimson Guard, the Pipe, the Mech, far too much sustain. And now Mage zoning out the rest of the team with the BKB, ult popped and flacking on the Rax. Bane is dead. Beastmaster's dead. No buyback. Saberlight.
He's just zoning them. That's what he's up to while they're taking those last Raxes. Now they can go for the bottom lane or back out as Razor is respawning. Let's see what they opt to do. They don't have BKB on Gyro right now, but they can definitely... well, it looks like they can definitely just go back, as DNZ is the one that gets caught this time around. But there we go. The fear is there. Mage is back though. He wants to. Is this the play though? Let's see.
Saberlight does not get the stun off. Razor gets the BKB off first. However, the drain was not very effective. Crimson Guard is popped. Excalibur is here. I believe he has the Hex finished. Indeed, he does.
Is back.
Still no buyback on the Beastmaster, so it is a 5-on-4 scenario. Singularity just 1 racks away from taking Megas and most likely the series, attempting to move on to play tomorrow in that elimination Group B decider.
They got so much gold from these 2 fights. They can just finish off their items, then go for the bottom.
Yeah, there's so much time. He's still dead for 50.
Yeah, Mjolnir completed on Mage. He just needs that courier now. And 3.4k gold afterwards. Nice glyph indeed.
Now they know that there is no Queen of Pain ultimate. You could get a bit aggressive here. No BKB on Illidan either. Look for Excalibur to just go full here.
So much damage there. DNZ also porting from behind. Another pause by Vanscore. Perhaps a puppy pause, trying to figure out what they need to do.
I'm trying to figure out what they need to do. Oh, double stun immediately. You can't even complain. That was your pause. Ultimate going to land on Mage. The damage output from the flak. Vanscore's going to get a grip off, but it's all for naught. Illidan's going to die. G, the last one standing with the BKB. And they're just straight in. Oh my gosh, another stun by Saberlight. We'll only find the Beastmaster this time. But they've already collected Megas. This should be the game.
Jumps in, steals that gem, but Queen of Pain is caught. She's hexed up, but she's fearing them away, but they don't really care. They go for the throne instead. The towers are falling. T4s are down. Mirana ult there. Queen of Pain yuled up. Manages to blink away. And actually, Jaro is pretty low. And back into the arrow. He manages to die, but he buybacks instantly, and he's back into the fray. Double Earthbind, alright. He caught the Queen of Pain and the Mirana, but the throne, while they're fighting, the throne is slowly falling as Saberlight got it from the side, and 2-0 for Singularity with a dirty Meepo last pick.
Dirty Meepo. I mean, it was pretty clean though. Outside of the play, the draft was fairly obvious. I think that most people, given enough time, would see the Meepo coming.
If you know Excalibur as well, right? Like,
it's 2 heroes, right? Meepo, Tinker, maybe a little bit of Invoker, sure, but those are his big 2. And Meepo in that kind of game, it's just rough. You make one mistake, really. I thought Open Gold played better. They really did.
They played way better than them, than Team Singularity, for sure. The way Mirana rotated, those arrows early on. They also won the lane. Yeah, they won the safe lane. Queen of Pain won versus Meepo on the mid lane. It doesn't matter. You just die a couple of times and that's it. They had no real counter to the Meepo. Razor perhaps could have itemized differently. That's the only thing that I think Illidan could have done better, as he's a Razor player. He knows all the possible item builds. Perhaps something like Shiva's Radiance Force would be better, but it was a difficult game.
Maybe next time. Do keep in mind, of course, before we end the day, that if you'd like, think about it tomorrow. No queues, no hours. Man, I'm trying to do without the notes, but I can't. Point is, place a bet at GG.Bet.com using the code SAVE to insure your bet. And speaking of insurance, let's check out those brackets if we could pull them up real fast. We've got Group A and Group B deciders for tomorrow, 2 BO3s. Sweeping into Group A, you're going to have Fly to Moon versus Adfinem. Winner advances, loser stays home. Gotta probably figure that Fly to Moon would be favored, considering they already took a game off of Adfinem in the upper bracket. And then Group B, Positive Guys versus Singularity. Same deal. Positive Guys were able to take down the singular-minded team. We'll see what happens in the draft. It is going to be a BO3. Just those 2 series tomorrow. That's it. And then, of course, our final day will be action-packed. The whole playoffs. One team, of course, will be advancing to ESL Hamburg. We hope you enjoyed this 3rd day presentation of the GG.Bet Hamburg Invitational, presented to you by Maincast. I'm Kyle. That's Lizard. It's been a hell of a day. But until tomorrow, we'll see you soon. Sleep tight, everybody.